Elite Cameraman analysis on episode 74. Now we got a long one, bro, because this is 34 minutes. I got some natural light, so I'm not really going, I'm not gonna turn on the extra lights. We just got some natural light from the sun. Enjoying nature today, I guess, because we do got a light still. But hey, man, we got, like I said, it's a longer video, so I'm gonna try my best not to pause too much. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of sad about yesterday, so I had the energy a little low. We don't know if Titan Cam really died or not. Shout out to trending, and I think the episode was trending as well. But it's unfortunate, bro. They ain't had to do, like, Titan Cameraman is such a Chad, bro. He's a Sigma for what he did. But like I said, I'm not gonna try to pause too much, but we got this reaction. Let's get it.
Hello.
Champions League final today too, so I'm gonna be observing that. You know what I'm saying?
Hello, everyone. Elite Cameraman here. Today really is a catastrophic day. We just may have witnessed the beginning of the Alliance's downfall and the last moments of our beloved Titan Cameraman, even though we still don't know if he is dead or not. Just the possibilities alone has gotten me depressed. But we'll talk about Titan Cameraman and what might happen to him later in the video. It's been a couple weeks.
I mean, again, I just said I wouldn't pause, but they said that he was running away, and that's what that was. Like, he ran away. I think that could be super interesting too.
Since episode 73 was released, and everyone was wondering why it's been taking so long for Boom to upload the most hyped episode so far. And I think after watching it, it's clear why Boom has been hyping this episode a lot, because this episode truly does change everything about the future of the series. Today we'll talk about everything ranging from Simp Cameraman's return, TV Daddy's powers, the G-Titan project, G-Man toilet actually being an Astro toilet to what the Astro toilets were planning. And lastly...
Yo, is that what that meant? I missed that.
We'll talk about the potential death of Titan Cameraman. But before we start analyzing episode 74, make sure to like this video and kindly subscribe to pay your respects to Titan Cameraman and all the Fallen Alliance members. Titan Cameraman truly was the best of us, and if he actually dies, I'm sure he'll always be remembered with his famous words for plunger. Anyways, here we...
Yeah, I was in streaming. It was like smoking that plunger pack, smoking that Titan Cameraman. But y'all are incredible, bro.
We go.
Incredible.
This episode actually starts in a very unusual way because we actually are not a POV cameraman at the beginning, but instead just watching through a portable camera. It starts with a special cameraman agent activating this camera, and I think we can see a similar version of this camera on his chest as well. It looks like a camera pin, which is a portable camera that can be put on everyone. After activating the camera pin, the camera engineer cameraman turns the camera, and we see the TV Daddy with his unfathomable aura going off. I'm not even kidding, this guy is literally glowing purple out of nowhere. I think it's safe to call him Purple TV Man from now on instead of TV Daddy, even though I might use the TV Daddy name in private.
Ain't nobody know.
Also, I did mention this in my secret ending analysis,
that name,
but the Purple TV Man does actually have two small speakers next to him. And I'm going to be honest.
And that's what I misconstrued that during my analysis when I was like going back through it. I forgot that he had speakers, but I didn't even really notice that. I thought it was just like a TV extender, like some antenna or something.
This kind of makes him a mini Cinema Man. The OGs would know that Titan TV Man was called Cinema Man for a while because he was upgraded with speaker parts.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, after watching the episode, if TV Daddy was a Titan bro, would solo the whole verse. The way he uses his skill set is actually crazy and better than any character we've seen so far.
True.
Even though I miss Plunger Cameraman and Dark Speaker Man, I'm really hyped to see more of the new special agents because it seems like they will be a lot more powerful than the last ones, which we'll never forget.
Yeah, they're going to be strong for sure, and they're going to be needed for the next battles coming up.
We can also see a reinforcement cameraman on the left. But what's more interesting is the reinforcement speaker man on the right. It looks like he has something like a pickaxe on his back and two glowing knives. I don't think this speaker man is a special agent, but the fact that normal reinforcement cameraman have weapons like these, the new speaker man and cameraman elite agents will be crazy. While the cameraman engineer cameraman gets close to Purple TV Man, we finally get a closer look at him, and I think I understand why Boom called...
Another observation, I don't know if he's going to say this, but just to elaborate further on the whole, like, soldiers being more upgraded, it seems like, bro, as the war goes on, bro, people have more experience. You got to imagine the people that are surviving these battles, they're seasoned. Like, they're nice. Like, they're different. So it would make sense that, like, your typical soldier isn't your typical soldier, bro. Everybody's getting stronger because we've been in this war for so long. we done picked up a few things or two. A regular cadet is probably now a Navy SEAL veteran. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense.
Calls him TV Daddy. Holy moly, bro has a crazy build. After the camera engineer puts the camera pin on Purple TV Man, we get a better look at the camera engineer, and he actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
we can see that he has fully mechanical arms, which might mean that he exploded his arms while trying to make some cameras. Who knows? We can also see that he has a special type of lens, which I assume allows him to zoom in a lot more and has a lot more protection, unlike the normal cameraman. That's not all because he has 2 extra cameras on his shoulders, just like how Titan Cameraman had back in the day alongside a camera pin on his shoulder. I don't think I'd be surprised if he also had a camera that's on the back of his head.
He probably like a spy.
This guy is literally a camera nerd. We can actually see his shoulder cameras move on their own, so I do think that he is watching all his POVs at the same time, which is another level of craziness. But while he is giving a thumbs up, we hear the Purple TV Man say, "Let's go," in reverse. Here you go, listen to it yourself. It also looks like the cameraman on the back are surprised because they slowly lean in to see how the camera fits on Purple TV Man. Maybe because they were not expecting him to accept the camera pin. We can also see that there are actually 2 camera drones accompanying them in this.
And it also makes me feel like Purple TV Man is not like he's a good guy, bro. I think we could trust him.
Which is inside the last base of toilets. It was most likely the camera engineer guy who brought these camera drones. The next scene is actually us seeing the TV man teleport POV in small range for the first time. Until now, we've only seen the teleport ability through the eyes of cameraman being teleported via TV man, but never from a TV man's POV.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
This was actually so cool because it looks like they phase into some other realm while teleporting. And it actually makes sense now how G-Man can escape Titan TV Man all the time, because Titan TV Man doesn't simply teleport, he still has to catch up to G-Man toilet while phasing.
Yeah.
This would also mean that TV Man must have memorized the whole world's geography and where everyone is, because otherwise I have no idea how they could know where they are going. I usually need a GPS even while going to the supermarket.
I mean, but he also has TVs that can see through cameras, and maybe he's using the camera's POVs to move through that distance. I don't know. It's possible.
Next door, so I can't really relate. We see the Purple TV Man teleport behind 2 laser toilets who are guarding the area, but before they can do anything, he uses his brainwashing beam and says, "Protect," in reverse to turns the toilets into his own side. But before this, while teleporting, did you notice something crazy? I didn't see this myself, and many people on Discord messaged me about it, so I have to talk about it, but there is actually someone at the next door while the TV man is phasing. We can only see him for a brief moment, but it does look like someone with a monitor head. It's not clear if it's a special TV man or maybe the computer race many people have been guessing about for a long time. I'm someone that's been saying that the computer race won't happen until now, so I don't know. And the fact that the colors are inverted makes it very hard to understand if the monitor is white or black in reality. It could also be a TV agent that's watching the mission from the shadows. I might go deeper into this later in the episode because I think there may have been one more reference to this later in the episode. And let's get back to the TV beam TV Daddy used. This beam is actually a little more overpowered compared to the normal beam because it actually utilizes the speakers he has on his TV monitor, which allows him to break the sunglasses these toilets have to protect themselves against the TV beams. This tactic was actually first utilized by Titan TV Man in episode 44 when he first received the speaker upgrades. And the reaction these toilets have is literally priceless. The only weird thing is, after they get brainwashed, the sinister smile they have on their faces are so creepy, and I have no idea why they look like that. After brainwashing them, the toilets start moving towards the next door, while Purple TV Man jumps on the back of one of the toilets to get there faster. But since the door is closed, he phases through it once more to be met by a normal scientist.
Yeah, what he does here is ill.
But bro actually outsmarts him and uses his teleport smoke as a shield to reflect the laser back on him. But he doesn't actually kill him instantly and just destroys the toilet, which might have seemed weird at first, but after you see what he does, bro really was playing 4D chess while every other TV man is playing checkers. It's clear why this guy is a special agent. He actually says, "Give me your head," in reverse.
Like how?
While
like that
using
ability
his
is
teleport
crazy.
ability to teleport the scientist's toilet's head into his own freaking hand. That was so brutal, bro. I can't even imagine the pain that toilet went through. But here you go. Listen to it in reverse. After this, he doesn't even wait a single second and uses the head to do a retinal scan to open up the door. If we zoom in a little, we can actually see a text that says, "Retinal imaging scan initiated" on the bottom screen. After the retinal scan, the door instantly opens up and the toilets that were brainwashed instantly start attacking the other toilets that are inside to protect the base. But the purple TV man doesn't stop there, and he goes back and uses the head once more to open the first door to let the reinforcement squad in, and for some reason, a random speaker man is literally Fortnite dancing inside.
They love dancing,
as if
bro.
they are not on a mission they might die.
They don't take it seriously enough.
The last time I saw a speaker man dance in a skibidi race was episode 69, part 1, and those speaker man got killed by the Michael Jackson toilet seconds later. I think the higher-ups in the speaker man race needs to give some lectures on this topic. Also, if you look carefully, we see the camera engineer using his tablet, most likely to control the camera drones instead of going himself.
Yeah, he's like an engineer.
Even though he looks pretty weak, I think later on in the series he might actually become one of the top units controlling specialized armed cameras to fight against the toilets.
Exactly.
After this, we see purple TV man fly deeper.
You know what I be thinking sometimes? What if this guy right here? Y'all ever think like maybe Plunger or Dark Speaker had pupils? Like they had people that they trained, and maybe like this is like Dark Plunger's, you know what I'm saying? Like trainee, like just the way that he looks and the way that he presents himself. We haven't seen Plungers yet, but maybe we'll see somebody very similar, like a very similar style. I don't know.
Deeper inside the bunker and stop at a certain gate, which he once again opens
because
up.
To me, at least, it feels like when characters look special, that was like a procedure done because of like their rank and who and what they mean. Like Purple TV Man he wasn't just born like that. He had to prove himself with his IQ, intelligence, his movements, and then they gave him those things. Same thing with TV Woman. Probably started out regular, but then they gave her a better TV to burn. You know what I'm saying? Just little things like that. I think it'll be super interesting.
Up with the toilet head, and we see a devastating scene. The camera zooms inside, and we can see many dead cameraman and speakerman bodies alongside, with a couple cameraman and speakermans.
If these were human corpses, this would look so much crazier.
Still alive, but incredibly damaged. I don't know what they've been doing here to these agents, but we actually see Simp Cameraman inside looking pretty depressed and hurt. He doesn't even move an inch or react to the purple TV man coming to rescue them. Blood probably still hasn't recovered from the fact that TV Woman left him to die. But there is honestly something more interesting here. There is not a single TV man body here. Actually, we have yet to see any TV man bodies in the whole series as far as I can remember. They really are protecting themselves to an insane degree, and what we see later in the episode proves this even more. After Purple TV Man opens up the door, he says, "Get out," in reverse to the tortured agents inside the prison cell. Here you go. Listen to it yourself. After he says it, he doesn't even care enough to help them more and literally turns his back to continue on exploring the bunker. He gets next to one of the toilets he brainwashed earlier, and it looks like he was the only toilet that made out alive, but Blood has lost the sinister smile on his face, and Purple TV Man says, "Well done, lil bro," in reverse to the brainwashed toilet while patting his head.
And he don't even
know. Here you go. Listen to it yourself.
He's sick.
Well done, lil bro.
But suddenly he snaps out of the brainwash, and before he can attack the Purple TV, Man pulls out his arm blade and slices the toilet's face instantly. After this, we see Purple TV Man open up the last door by using the skibidi head one last time, and what we see inside is actually some next-level torturing. When he enters the room, we hear the skibidi dom dom yes yes sound playing from speakers with many humans inside, and it looks like the toilets are slowly trying to turn them into toilets, or maybe just experimenting the long-lasting effects of the sound playing from a speaker instead of them just using their own voice. The toilets may actually be trying to turn humans into toilets with this method for a new mass toiletization with incredibly big speakers around the world. I say this because I assume these people have been here for a while, and it doesn't look like they have turned into toilets yet. The Purple TV Man instantly shoots the record player with his shoulder guns, which apparently he has.
It's that word.
Humans with the skibidi syndrome to turn to Purple TV Man and bro, did we witness a scene here? I'm sorry for the first human that tried to attack him because Purple TV Man literally punched his brains out. Bro punched him as if he is Saitama from One Punch Man. I'm not even kidding if you zoom into the wall when the body hits it. We can't even see the head of the human anymore. Bro's head is just gone. But there was actually something weird in this scene. I'm not sure if it's a coincidence or if this happened more times before in the series, but right at this scene before Purple TV Man punches the human, we can see a broken monitor, and we actually saw this same monitor in episode 73, full episode, where Camerawoman met the humans as well. So why did we see the same broken computer monitor in a scene with humans back to back? I have been saying that I don't think the computer race would ever happen, but many people still do believe it might happen one day, and Boom is either foreshadowing the computer race or literally trolling us at this point. After this, he doesn't even mind caring about the rest of the humans, and he just turns his back and says, "Their brains are rotten, burn everything," in reverse to the reinforcement squad with the flamethrowers. Here you go, listen to it yourself.
Their brains are rotten.
You know, somehow, and I don't even mean to get like no type of way when I'm saying this, but some way, somehow, I feel like as I'm watching Skibidi Toilet and as I'm like really thinking about some of these scenes, like there is probably a deeper message in this series than people realize. But I'm gonna just leave that thought right there.
Burn everyone.
I'm gonna be honest, Purple TV Man is so unhinged. And Boom acknowledging the brain rot is kind of funny if you ask me. But what we see next is actually nuts. While this scene is happening, some of you probably noticed the whiteboard on the right side, and it sure does look like a Toilet Titan blueprint to me. And thankfully, Purple TV Man does go and check it out, which reveals something even more crazy. And Boom actually told me I can share something that he sent me months ago when he was making episode 70 part 2, a frame that was changed before he released the episode. But before we get to the crazy whiteboard, we have one of the saddest scenes in the entire series. After the flamethrower cameraman starts burning all the brain-rotted humans, we see the reinforcement cameraman placing the tortured agents inside a container.
Sorry, chat, important text. I'm still listening, though. I'm still listening.
To teleport them away, but the last agent that's being put inside the container is Simp Cameraman, and what happens seconds after is the moment that fully broke him, if you ask me. For some reason, TV Woman is also here now, and Simp Cameraman sees her with his TV Woman picture frame on his hand.
And it's even crazier because there's no way she don't know this is happening, bro. Like, this isn't a thing.
TV Woman is looking the other direction, and Simp Cameraman drops his TV Woman frame to reaches out to her, but before he can do anything, the container door closes, which makes him also lose his TV Woman frame forever, because the large TV man teleports the container instantly. Bro, I'ma be honest, Simp Cameraman is my rival and all that, but that was pretty sad. I honestly don't know how he can recover from that. This was the third time of him being ignored by her. First, it was at the end of episode 54. Next, it was episode 57, which was the worst one where TV Woman left him to die. And this probably was the last straw, both being ignored and losing his favorite object. I'm probably gonna make Elite TV Man teleport me there later and steal that TV Woman picture, but let's forget I mentioned that. We also know that Simp Cameraman is not evil and has been held captive all this time, but I don't think this is the end for him because Boom did mention that we'd see him in this episode, but when I asked in my interview, he said, at first he'll return in episode 74, which means this would be his return, but he'd come back again later, and I don't think he will be returning as the same man this time.
He can't. He got to get over her and become a Chad, man.
We get to see him as one of the new special agents with a completely new personality on his redemption arc. And before we continue, I gotta say TV Woman looking hella cute as always.
Yeah.
Anyways, this next scene was probably the most important scene for the overall lore of the series in this episode, but second most important event that happened in the episode, since the #1 title goes to the ending when it comes to that. The Purple TV Man suddenly looks at the whiteboard on the right, and we actually see a Titan toilet blueprint with arms and legs alongside some Skibidi writing on the sides. It also looks like the core is a special core since it has some extra instructions on it, but this is something we haven't seen so far in the series. And we've been guessing that the new Titan that Boom mentioned might actually be G-Man Toilet. And with this image and what we are about to see in a second, it's really is looking like the next Titan that'll be introduced will be the G-Titan. We don't know how powerful he'll be, nor when he'll appear, but if it actually was Scientist Toilet's unfinished project, it must be powerful. The fact that we haven't seen the fight between G-Man Toilet and the Titans makes me think that we might get to see G-Titan in their battle. And as I said, what we see next is a little more crazy, but before that, when Purple TV Man starts going towards the desk, we see a reference on the table. If you look carefully, there are 3 items that are on the desk, which look awfully similar to something. It's a pencil case with 3 pencils, a drill, and a clock right next to each other standing randomly on the desk, which Purple TV Man suddenly punches out of his way. I think this was a clear reference to Dom Studios' Skibidi Multiverse, and it might be the last time we hear about this beef because a while ago Dom Studio did post an apology post to Boom on their community post, and we can only assume that they'll be on good terms from now on since it doesn't look like Dom Studio wants to continue any beef at all. And it's possible that this was animated before the apology post since this is very early in the episode.
I won't say nothing.
But all that aside, what we saw next was one of the most important images we've seen on the series. I think it's an image that even surpasses the secret agent image we saw in episode 70, part 2. Purple TV Man sees a paper with an image of G-Man Toilet, or maybe even the G-Titan on it, because it looks like he has an arm here. But what is this image? Because it's not just the armor he has, but even his face is not normal. His eyes are fully red, and he has a weird device on his head, which looks like some sort of advanced Astro Toilet helmet.
Yeah.
His core also looks incredibly advanced compared to normal. There is so many questions about this photo, but before I continue with my theories, I have something to show you that Boom allowed me to share with you. About 5 months ago, before episode 70 part 2 came out, Boom sent me a pretty big spoiler which he actually changed later on, and I've known this since and had to keep quiet. If you guys remember episode 70 part 2, Plunger Cameraman held a clipboard with some Skibidi text on it with the scientist toilet on the top right and an Astro Toilet on the bottom left, but at the time we didn't really understand what this clipboard was meant for. I'm here to tell you that this frame was actually different at first. In the first version of this episode, Boom actually had the Astro G-Man on the top right instead of... You literally see the Astro helmet and the same red eyes he has on the new episode. But what does this mean? Because the new image we see has a different helmet, which might just be a change Boom made to make it cooler. But this was planned literally from months ago, and I'm kind of glad this wasn't revealed back then because we didn't know about the true power of Astro Toilets back then. But what's the backstory on this? Because we haven't seen G-Man Toilet like this before, but these are all photos the toilets have and probably had for a while. This probably also has a correlation with the conversation G-Man Toilet had with the Claw Astro Toilet in episode 72 part 1, because if you remember...
My apologies, by the way. I'm not trying to be rude or nothing, but it's just... I'm listening to the video because I can listen. I don't always got to see what they're saying, but Champions League final today. If you one of the boys, you get it.
The Claw Astro Toilet said, you know the...
And I'm currently recording this at 2:30. Champions League starts at 3 o'clock, so, you know, everybody just making sure that I'm still, you know...
penalty for treason. No one escapes justice. And after seeing these photos, it's making more sense because this must mean that this had to have happened in the past for the Astros to be trying to kill G-Man. But this is not the history we know? I think there are 2 possibilities here. G-Man Toilet either has more clones than we know, or this is not our history, but instead our future. We've been wondering how the Astro Toilets have appeared out...
No way they have time travel. No way there are toilets from the future. That would be insane.
Nowhere, and why they have such good technology compared to rest of the toilets. At this point, I feel like this might be G-Man's future version, and Astro Toilets might be coming from the future to hunt G-Man Toilet. But that would leave the question of what happened to all of G-Man Toilet's upgrades. It's likely that he's been trying to get back his old upgrades by making Scientist Toilet design all of it. But we don't know anything about what's going on, and I doubt we'll uncover this secret anytime soon. The next theory I have about this is...
this is crazy, bro. Skibidi Toilet is really legendary, bro. Like, time travel, bro? We might have time travel in this series, y'all.
That we know the Astro Toilets can fly like UFOs, and maybe that was Boom's way of telling us that they are actually extraterrestrial species, and they are not actually from Earth. It might be possible that G-Man Toilet was banished from the Astro Society for treason, or he simply left the Astro Toilet fleet secretly to come to Earth and start invading it himself. Or maybe if you guys remember the flashback we saw in episode 73, part 1.
Oh, that's a good
humans
theory.
Were experimenting on portals.
Oh my
and it is also possible that they pulled the man toilet from a different universe, which might have caused some problems on Astro Toilet's side if they are species that conquers planets or universes. And if this is the case, all the photos of Astro G-Man would make sense, since it would be events that happened on some other planet or a universe. This also might mean that it was actually G-Man Toilet that brought the skibidi.
Yo, what if this is all set up for Male 07 to come back? Because remember, like, I think at the last episode of Male 07, he actually was like, let me travel the multiverse. So it's possible that we setting up a Male 07 fight.
Syndrome to Earth, which started the full invasion, thus making him the leader of Skibidi Toilets as we know it. Maybe the toilet we saw in episode 1 was never the original toilet. And because of this, Astros came to Earth to fight him. And this could also explain why G-Man Toilet said to Titan TV Man they needed him in episode 73 part 2, which also had a role in today's episode a little later in the episode where the scientist TV Man told Titan TV Man to bring back G-Man Toilet back alive, which we'll talk about more when we get there in the episode, but I think all the dots are connecting hella good in this theory, and if G-Man also wants to save his own ass, it's looking like he also has to team up with the Titans. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but everything really is pointing that way because Astro Toilets are so goddamn strong. We really need more information on the Astro G-Man because it's something I don't think anyone has been expecting. Right after Purple TV Man saw the image, he instantly teleports to the TV Man base next to the scientist TV Man while saying, "Mind your own business" to the cameramen around him. After he teleports, he instantly says, "Take a look," in reverse while handing the scientist TV Man the image, which he looks at and says, "Turn off this fucking camera," in reverse. Here you go. Listen to it yourself.
Turn off this fucking camera.
Which Purple TV Man
Like,
does with—
why don't you want us to see what's going on? Why don't you want to relay the information? The only thing I could think that would make the TV men feel like they need to be careful is if Skibidis were able to hack into the POVs of camera people. It's the only way. That's the only pass I'll give him. That's the reason why I'm not too tweaking about it. Like I'm not going too in about it.
without hesitation, but before he can turn off the camera, we see some of the TV base, and it looks like they are working on a weird energy device. And I do think that it might be something related to the blue energy beam device we saw in the flashbacks in episode 73, part 1. After the POV cuts off, we actually change to a different POV that was watching the Purple TV Man POV, and instantly we hear Titan TV Man saying, "I found them," in reverse, and changing the POV to one of the POVs we've seen from the leaks. This POV starts with us seeing DJ Toilet getting repaired by 2 mechanic toilets, and as we've already known from the leak that Boom posted a couple days ago, Michael Jackson Toilet returns. But something has actually changed in the next scene, because when the jacked mutant comes down to the city, this time we actually can see his headband. Unlike what was on the short,
Which is interesting too. I thought I was tripping, but I didn't want to say nothing just in case I was tripping.
I guess it was just a rendering mistake and we weren't supposed to see his forehead. After this, we see the Riz Saw mutant walking slowly towards the jacked mutant, and I'm not gonna lie, I want to see the Buzzsaw mutant have a fight one-on-one with Speaker Woman because they both have katanas and that'd be so sick.
Nah, that would be tough.
After the mutant's dab, we see G-Man Toilet arriving once again, and something is different compared to the short version once again. We can see the weird scientist laser toilet from episode 68 part 2 on his shoulders. And it seems like his core is actually not working because it doesn't have the yellow glow. Maybe we'll see him get a new core because we did see a blueprint for a core in the billboard earlier.
Everybody's telling me, "Cozy, you don't got a core, you don't got a core." And it's just like, yeah, he don't. I mean, I didn't point it out, but I just think you see the scientist on his shoulder, bro. We know what's going on. He found his scientist replacement already. It's time.
After G-Man Toilet leaves the area, we see the mutants posing as if they belong on a fashion commercial while looking at the POV cameraman. As soon as the POV cameraman realizes the police mutant that's coming towards him, he starts running, and we already know what happens in a second.
Like, where's his jetpack, bro? He could have jumped up on the building, had a roof chase, but no, bro.
Boom really tried to turn the series into 5 nights at G-Man's bed for a second, right before the POV cameraman died. We also did see a Buzzsaw mutant before this, but it's unclear if this is a different Buzzsaw mutant. or if the buzzsaw mutant we know can move in lightning speeds, so I'm just going to assume that it's a different buzzsaw mutant. Right after the POV cameraman dies, the POV changes back to the Titans, and I guess I was right about the order of the clips in my last leaks video. And Titan TV Man says, they are weekend perfect time to attack in reverse, and we see Titan Grandpa Man trying to look through with his walking...
You got jokes? You still part of the cameraman squadron, bro. I will get you demoted. Don't do it.
Stick, which results in Titan TV Man also looking at Titan Speaker Man, and after Titan Speaker Man tries to act though as well, Titan TV Man says, "Not for you, crippled bros, you two are going home." I'm gonna be honest, I do agree with Titan TV Man this time, but we all know that nothing went along their plans and the ending of this episode was crazy. After Titan TV Man tells this to the Titan duo, Titan Speaker Man grabs his broken headpiece and drops it to the ground, and I'm gonna be honest, it's nostalgic and all that. But I wish someone told Bro to not throw it away, but he looked better even with the broken piece on. Bro just chose to be bald. And after this, we actually see one of the most wholesome scenes in the series, making this episode one of a kind to have one of the most wholesome and some of the most gruesome scenes.
Look at the toilet speaker.
We actually see a bunch of Speaker Man dancing to cheer up Titan Speaker Man. And in my leak analysis, I did mention that some of the Speaker Man looked special with colored suits, but it looks like they are just normal Speaker Men because we saw some other colored shirt Speaker Man earlier in the lab raid as well, which means it's just their thing now. Maybe after the emergence of the special agents, normal agents might have already started developing their own personalities slowly, because it seems like more and more special agents start coming up every day. I guess the spark that Plunger Cameraman and Dark Speaker Man created is going to become a fire that keeps on growing.
Wait, I think this is Naruto, boy. What you...
Also, next to the big speaker, we can see the Speaker Man that uses a toilet as a car. I'm gonna be honest, Boom might just decide to make him the main character of the series because this blood survives every battle. After this, we also see Titan Speakerman Fortnite dancing as well, but it's cut off by Titan TV Man saying, "Today, this war ends," right before teleporting. And honestly, war did end today because a freaking massacre started. And right after this, something actually interrupts him. Scientist TV Man suddenly teleports from the TV Man base to the Titans and instantly says, "No, bring their leader to our base, alive!" in reverse to Titan TV Man, which gets Titan TV Man incredibly mad, and he says, "Are you insane?" in reverse, which Scientist TV Man responds with, "We need to understand the full picture before it's too late." Here you go, listen to the full conversation in reverse yourself.
Which is understandable.
Bring their leader to our base. We need to understand the full picture before it's too late.
What happens next is actually nuts, but before we talk about what the Astros are cooking, we need to talk about why the Scientist TV Man said, "Bring their leader to our base alive." As you guys know, G-Man Toilet said, "You need me," in episode 73 part 2 while fighting with Titan TV Man, but back then we didn't really know what he meant. But after today's episode, I think we have more of an idea, and with what Scientist TV Man also said, it seems like the Alliance might need G-Man Toilet's help, because they have no idea about the origins of the Astro Toilets, and they don't know what they are capable of. This is basically unknown territory, and it's a very scary unknown territory where the Alliance can't find out anything about the Astro Toilets. I think at this moment the only people who know anything about the truth of the Astros is G-Man Toilet and the Secret Agent, because he knew how big of a threat the Astro Toilets were. After seeing the image of Astro G-Man Toilet, Scientist TV Man probably realized that G-Man is the most important asset in the whole world right now, and Alliance's only hope against the Astro Toilets if it goes like this. Because we all know that
Yep, and so it looked like Skibbidies, the original Skibbidies, and the Alliance might gotta team up for this little arc right here.
Race as angry as the...
And where does the agent fit into that? Oh my god! Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Skibidi Toilet is going for at least another year. Like minimum, because there's so many plot points that's opening up now.
TV Man probably would not have resorted into capturing the enemy instead of killing them unless it was a really important issue. We don't know what scientist TV man figured out, but I think the theories I explained earlier in the analysis are very plausible. Now it's time to talk about the craziest parts of today's episode. Suddenly we see Cameraman reacting to something on their tablets and being shocked. This leads to the POV cameraman also pulling up his tablet to check out what's going on, and what we see is utter destruction. We see actual spaceships and fighter jets bombing and lasering the city, destroying
nuts.
everything in their way, and suddenly one of the fighter jets noticed the POV cameraman, and before he knows it, he is dead. But if we pause at the moment right before he dies, we can actually see that it's an Astro toilet fighter jet, which looks like one of the X-Wings from Star Wars. And the thing is, we don't even know what this Astro toilet used to kill the POV cameraman because there are no particles here at all, and it's just sounds. But even if it's a sound, how did it kill the POV cameraman so fast? It looked like a force literally obliterated him. After this, we see the POV going back to the Titan area, and we see the cameraman looking very sad, and Titan TV man is a little taken aback. But this sadness doesn't last long because an unexpected guest shows up out of nowhere because they just noticed that the Alliance has realized what's going on, and they don't even wait for a single second before starting their attack. UFO Toilet comes out of nowhere and shoots Titan Cameraman, but he thankfully catches the energy ball with his claw arms.
Yep.
But when Titan Cameraman reflects the energy ball, the UFO Toilet literally shows off and does a side flip to dodge the reflected energy.
Yeah, he's not,
only
that guy.
But when Titan TV Man starts using his TV beam to kill the UFO Toilet, he pulls out the slickest sunglasses ever that's literally attached to his helmet. After not being affected by the TV beam at all, the UFO Toilet laughs in a very sinister way and just backs off the area, but I think everybody that heard that laugh knew that something bad was about to happen. And as you can guess, the whole fricking Astro fleet starts warping to the scene as if it's a scene out of Star Wars, where the X-Wings are coming into the battlefield. This scene was so...
And their teleportation looks so much more sophisticated.
Terrifying, and it wasn't just the low-ranking troops that came. The goddamn mothership warped, and it fricking sent a shockwave which glitched the camera POVs for a couple seconds. He doesn't look that insane from this perspective, but in a few moments, I'll show you how big he looks when Titan Cameraman is going next to him. Because this Astro is at least 3 or 4 times the size of the Titans, which is crazy to think about. They literally can't do anything against it. Maybe Titan TV Man leaving Titan Cameraman by himself didn't make sense to you. But when you see the size comparison, you'll understand why they did what they did. Boom did tell me the names of these Astros, and the big one is, as everyone guessed, is called the Astro Mothership.
Yeah.
The big Astro ships without the heads are called the Astro Carriers, and we already saw their destructive power from the earlier POV.
I'm excited, bro. Episode 70, bro. This series is the gifts that keeps on giving, bro.
X-Wing, like
Woo!
which we also saw in the last POV, are called Astro Interceptors. And I'm not even sure how the Alliance can deal with those, even though they seem like the lowest version of Astros right now. At this point, I'm surprised that G-Man was able to fight like that against the Claw Astro Toilet. It's likely that he was only able to escape alive is the fact that he knew the weakness of the Astros and how they fight since he used to be one before. And lastly, the Astros that are heavily armed and wear masks are called the Astro Destructors. These names are the names Boom has given these Astros, and I do think that they fit perfectly, just like how TV Daddy fits the special TV Man agent. But the episode doesn't end here, because after the Mothership Astro arrives, the Destructor Astros instantly start attacking, and what seems like a small attack suddenly turns into a whole tragedy, because just some laser blasts were enough to mess up everything the Alliance had going on, and the scene we witnessed right after our camera glitch fixes was so depressing. We saw the crippled Titan Cameraman doing a thumbs up right before he decided to sacrifice himself, and I'm gonna be honest, this time, this actually might have been the last time we saw Titan Cameraman do a thumbs up. I think after what happens in a moment, the only way he survives is if he somehow comes across G-Man Toilet and somehow, someway G-Man Toilet saves him, because I don't think Titan TV Man will be trying to save him, nor do I think he can. We also see a weird green glow when the Astros are attacking Titan Cameraman. No idea if this is just random color that somehow came out, but the secret agent might be trying to protect Titan Cameraman here or the other way around.
Okay, that's good news.
Titan Cameraman instantly rams onto one of the Astros and starts pulling them towards himself while flying, but at this moment, we actually see him going next to the Astro Mothership. And holy
Yeah,
moly,
it is.
look at
Yeah.
the size difference.
Yeah.
I don't even think Titan Cameraman is half of the size of the Astro mothership. This size compression is crazy. We really need to see how the Astro mothership looks compared to the Titans from a better perspective, because there is no way they are winning against the Astros in their current situation. I think a very dark time for the Alliance has just begun, and it's most likely going to continue for a while, after Titan Cameraman flies away to sacrifice himself and save others. After this, we see Titan Speakerman trying to go after Titan Cameraman, but Titan TV Man shouts, "No, I can't lose you both." In
And it's crazy because in the Maxity series, Titan Cameraman also not there.
reverse while trying to hold off Titan Speakerman and teleports away to at least save him. But everyone else in the battlefield is left to die, and we start running to save our asses, but at the end, we are struck by one of the lasers, and we see the Astro fleet burning down everything, while the UFO toilet is directly looking at the POV, ending the episode. This episode was truly a masterpiece if you ask me, and I might have to do a second analysis tomorrow to go more in depth on some of the theories. So make sure to like this video and subscribe to not miss that. Hello everyone.
Woo! That, yeah, I don't even know, bro. It's just Skibidi Toilet. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, because wow. Make sure y'all like the video if you got this far, and if you got this far, I ain't gonna say nothing because some of y'all be cheating, but thank you for watching, for real. Peace out.